So hello everyone, my name is Hanil Mistry and today we are going to discuss about that how we can add user into sudoers file in Linux Ubuntu. Now you may know the sudoers file and that's why you have come. You maybe want to refresh the concept or you may have faced the problem, so you have come to this video. But in this video we will look into deep that what is the need to add a sudoers file, what is the need to add user into sudoers file, and we'll look at the step by step in Linux Ubuntu that how we can add the sudoers file, uh, that how we can add our user into sudoers file. So let us just start. So the main question arises is why we need to add our user into sudoers file, right? So you might know the sudoers file, and you may do not know what is the sudoers file and why we need to add this. So for those who just need the solution, they can skip this chapter. But for those who don't know, we are going to cover this in this session. So first of all, if we talk about the why we need to add our user into sudoers file, then the answer is very quite and simple, that we need to manage a user. So the user management is done by adding or removing some or all users to sudoers file. So sudoers file, it is a file which keep tracks of the permission that we have given to the different users. So some user may require special privileges, while some user may not require some special privileges because they are added in the sudoers file. So the users in the sudoers file are super users, or you can say they have more privileges uh, compared to the users which are not in the sudoers file. So this is the basic that why we need to add our user into sudoers file. For the example, you can consider the sudo add user command, that if we want to add another user, so we can the simple user, the normal user cannot do it. The user which is in the sudoers file, they can add the another user. So that we also going to see in the next upcoming time. So let us just watch that. So for the permission point of view, if we consider this file, so this is my device which is Ubuntu 21.10. If I open the terminal and if I just want to view, like say gedit, from the gedit, if I want to view /etc/passwd, so which is the file which keep tracks of the users. So you can see, as I have opened from the administrator account, it is still in the read only mode, because it will not directly allow us to view the file in edit mode. If I do some changes, then I also don't able to save it. So if I want to access it from the administrator account, I need to type, like say for example, I need to type sudo. I can use sudo command, and if I then apply the same command like sudo and the same command, then it will ask for the password, and after I enter the password, it opens in the you can see edit mode. Now I can edit this file. So this file which stores generally the user, that how many are the users, and now I can also save the this file, and I can also do the changes. So the normal user may not be able to view or change this file, even if even if it uses the sudo or it uses some other stuff. Like we can also go into super user, like using sudo su, and then you can see the prompt gets changed root @henu, and if I see again type that same command gedit, so it will now directly open into the edit mode. So this may not be accessible by the normal user. So if we just quickly exit, and if we now log out, switch user to the next our normal user, then we will see that what happens. So now we have switched the user to the normal user, and the username is deep. So if we just now open up the terminal, so you can see the prompt deep@henu, and if we now open that same file /etc/passwd, so it will open in the read only mode, as that was opening in the administrator account. So now if we just type sudo and then the same command, then it should be open into write mode. So if we just enter the command and enter the password for the deep user, then you can see the error that deep is not in the sudoers file. So even if we try the some other options, like say for an example, we just want to log into super user, so it will also then deny us that deep is not in the sudoers file. So we are not able to switch to the super user if we try to in the administrator account, like sudo henu. So if we enter the password now, then also it will deny us that and the same error again and again pops up that deep is not in the sudoers file. So why this error is occurred? So because the deep is not in the sudoers file, because the deep user is not given the all the privileges. So what is the solution that by which we can access all this command and we can have the privileges? So let us just see. So for solution to below previously discussed the problem, so the first step that we need to follow is that we need to log into the root user, or you can say administrator account. And the second step, which includes the changes in the sudoers file. So you know that from the administrator account or from the root account, we can log into different accounts. So we from the administrator account, if we have the access to the administrator account, so we can log into a super user account, like say for root user, and from there we can have changes in the sudoers file. We can add our deep user into sudoers file, and by adding the deep in the sudoers file, and then we can have access to all those privileged commands. So now let's see the these two steps in details. So we are now currently in the administrator account Henu, which is you can see in the prompt Henu@Henu. So now what we need to do, we need to add our user into sudoers file. So for that, actually I don't know the file name, so let us just ping into sudo gedit /etc/ and sorry, I don't know the file. So let us just see that what is there in the etc file, etc directory. So you can see over here that we have sudoers. If you can see my pointer, so we have sudoers file over here and sudoers.d, which is a directory. So we can open up the sudo like gedit and sudoers.d directory dot d, and the password if we enter. Sorry, we this is a spelling mistake. See, so right spelling is sudoers, not sudoers. So we can just correct it. So now if we just open it up, okay, so it says that it is a directory. So we need to open up the sudo or file, not a directory. So we can just remove .d. So you can see this file open up, and what we need to do for adding that user, it is just that we need to add, you can see in the 19th line we need to find this line, that's a hashtag which is saying user privilege specification. So now we can add below the root user, we can see over here by default, and now if we want to add our deep user into that, so we can have the same line by just changing the name of the user. So as I am typing, you can also type. So see, you can also similarly do for your user. You can add just your username over here, and the same line you need to add. Now if we save the file and if we now log into our deep user, so we will be able to change we will be able to see the changes reflected over there. So now let us just do that. So the last step includes now try to execute privileged command. So let us just do that. So we are now here. So we are now here in our you can say deep user. So which was previously normal user, but we have now added it into sudoers file. So now if we try to log into super user and enter the password, you can see we have logged into password, and you can see the prompt root@henu. And if we now try to open up that file and edit and give some changes over there, So it will also be possible because we can open it from the root user in the edit mode. So this file is having a list of all the users, and you can see our user over here, Deep. So now that we have all the privileges, we can have access to all the privileges command, and so we can try to add our user, or we can say we are adding the user. So what it says only 2 names are allowed. Okay, so the command is actually sudo add user and the username of the user that we want to add. So we can just try sudo add user xyz, and we can now fill up the details that it is prompting us to enter. So the new password, and we can just retype the new password. So for the xyz user, I am typing the password. Okay, sorry, password doesn't match, so I can type it again, the new password, and the same password again. Okay, sorry, it again does not match. Okay, let us just try this again, and the same password again. Okay, so now it has accepted. So we can give us the details like what is the full name. So let us just type Mr. XYZ, room number, let's say 5, work number. Let us just enter the some uh, policy details. Enter, yes. So you can see we have successfully added the user, and if we want to see the changes, then we can open up that same file /etc/password, and you can see the on the 51st line we have added successfully new user XYZ. So that's it. That's how we can add our user into sudoers file, and we can have access to the privileged commands. And that's it for this video. uh, uh, you can say adding our user into sudoers file. It is a very, you can say, security related task, because the great power comes with great responsibilities. So if we are having such users which has the similar access, privilege like a root user, so we need to be some careful over there, because it is related to security concerns. So that's basically it. In this video we have discussed, if we summarize the steps that we have did to add our user into sudoers file. So the first step was the login into administrator user and the changes in the sudoers file, and the second step which needs to, we need to find that line, and below the root user or below some other user we can just add our user and have some privileges. So after saving the changes in the sudoers file, which is under the etc directory, we have the last step, third step, that we have did to check the effect that we have added sudoers our user into sudoers file, and which is reflected or not. So with these three steps you can add your user into sudoers file. So thank you for watching this video.